to get both of them in, but I think both teams are just looking to play some games. You know, we were talking to them a little while ago, and you know, both of us open conference in 3 weekends, and I don't think we're, you know, we played well last weekend, but we didn't play the number of games we hoped to. We got didn't play yesterday with Chicago at Loyola, not being able to get out of Chicago, and I know Texas Southern's down some games, so I think both teams are just looking to get on the ground running.
Last weekend, 2 close losses against 2 quality programs in the tournament at Lake Charles. What were you most encouraged about your team with those results last weekend?
I thought our defense was strong overall, and I thought that Stephanie and Jessica both pitched very well against, you know, very good quality teams, especially Tulsa being preseason number 20. I thought that they both handled both of their lineups very well. I thought Steph pitched well the first game. They did hit 2 out, but that was more of a function of not getting the outer half of the plate called and having to come inside on them. But I thought they managed the game, as we've really talked about all year, is, you know, there's really no dominant pitching in Division I except maybe your first and second team All-Americans. And we were just talking about managing the game, and I thought that they both did that very, very well, as well as they had some very strong defensive support behind them.
Jessica Patak had probably a strong appearance in both games, in relief of Stephanie Buenrostro on Friday, and then on Sunday, her complete game against Tulsa. Tell us a little bit more about Jessica and what you expect from her going forward throughout this season.
Well, I think if you traditionally look back and, you know, freshmen making debuts, whether it's on the mound or in the field, that I think traditionally you look at that pitchers have the hardest adjustment from high school to college. And it was kind of like, well, welcome to Division I, Jess. And especially, you know, with the start against Tulsa. But, you know, I think that's kind of good that you put their feet to the fire early and see what they're going to be about. Her strongest asset is she can spin all of her pitches extremely well. So if they may not be pinpoint all the time accuracy, but she owns and commands the plate, and with her ball spinning so tight, they still have a good chance of mishitting it. And she really understands how to pitch as a freshman. She understands what her role is out there, and she knows where we want each pitch, and she does a really good job of doing that most of the time for us.
And the ball goes in play, and the Huskies defensively have been strong.
Well, that's the plan. You know, you don't see the 10, 13 strikeouts that you used to about 5, 10 years ago. And so, you know, she probably will tend to get a few more strikeouts than our other pitchers because her ball does spin and jump a little bit. You know, she's also not afraid. You know, she's the sweetest kid in the world, and she doesn't want to hit anybody, but she will let you know she owns that plate. And you know, she really has a good mental makeup, and I think that Steph has done a really good job as being a senior pitcher and setting an example and a role model and being a mentor to them, the younger. And hopefully you'll see some of Elliott and Sierra today on the mound. We'll just see how it goes. They're both slated to try to get a couple innings. A little bit more difficult for Sierra because she is a position player too, but get the other 2 freshmen some experience here soon.
And just get the offense going.
I think we will. I think, you know, we talk about every coach in America, it's a game of failure. 3 out of 10 years success. Well, 7 times you failed, and then all of a sudden it's 2 out of 10, and then you start grabbing that bat a little bit tighter and swing it maybe a couple pitches you shouldn't have, trying to make something happen. And so you kind of make the problem bigger than it actually is when the problem is very small. It's more about timing this time of year and not seeing a lot of live pitching. It's not really mechanical, but you can turn that into mechanical. And, you know, I think we just, you know, like any other team right now, you got to swing your way out of it. The pitchers right now should be ahead of the hitters. We'll see how that continues the next couple of weeks. We just have to use the next couple of weeks to get ready for Nichols.
Well, good luck today against Texas Southern.
Thank you.
Mary Ellen Hall, the head coach of the Huskies. I'll be back with starting lineups and first pitch. First game of the doubleheader against Texas Southern on the Husky Sports Network, powered by Legacy Sports.
We're passionate, delivering expert neurological care for adults and children. We're dedicated, responding to neurotrauma and stroke with Lifelight in our Level 1 Trauma Center. We're persistent, restoring lives at our Tier Rehabilitation and Research Hospital. We our Memorial Hermann. And we're making neuroscience breakthroughs every day.
Rolling up on a cheap price feels good, but cheap comes with risk. Heart surgeons, pilots, no one hires a cheap one of them. Fact is, certain things must be done right. Installing electricity in Houston schools and hospitals needs to be built with manpower that spent 10,000 hours training to do their job. So for heart surgeons to do their job, we must do ours. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
You're listening to Love Advice with Leanne. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Leanne. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Why, in your professional opinion, do you never take my calls off the air?
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few dates. Everything was great. I thought,
Well, you know, when you switch to Geico, you could save a lot of money on car insurance.
Okay, awesome.
You should call them.
I will.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Coming to you in Living Cola.
The joy of cola. Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola. Jump in, just enjoy the ride. Take your time. Joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue. Greatest taste sensation under the sun.
Refreshing Pepsi Cola from the wonderful folks who put the R in cola.
The greatest taste sensation, Pepsi Cola.
This is the HBU Husky Sports Network, powered by Legacy Sports.
Bill Cousins back with you from Husky Field. They're introducing the starting lineups for Game 1 of this doubleheader. Season opener for Texas Southern, a home opener for HBU. Here is Texas Southern's starting lineup. Their center fielder leading off is Taryn Vinson, followed by right fielder Emma Ortiz. Madeline Merrick, the third baseman, bats third. Sierra Valdez, the first baseman, in the cleanup spot. Jasmine Foster, the DH, bats fifth. Marissa Padron, the catcher, bats sixth. Then Jocelyn Ellis, the second baseman, in the 7-hole. Tavani Tate, the left fielder, bats eighth. And Dominique Tello, the shortstop, bats ninth. Jasmine Fulmore in the circle for Texas Southern today, coached by Worley Baker. HBU is 0-2, losses to Virginia and Tulsa last week over in Lake Charles. And a shakeup of the batting order today is Sierra Humphrey will be the leadoff hitter. She's the freshman right fielder. Senior Libby Brown, the shortstop, bats second. Cassie James still in the 3-hole. She's the third baseman. Megan Hires, the first baseman, bats fourth. Demi Yannick, the second baseman, bats fifth. Then it's DP Brooke Bushman batting sixth. Kay Schrader, the center fielder, moves up to the 7-hole. Nicole Shedd, the left fielder, will bat eighth. And Heidi Hawkins, the catcher, will bat ninth today. Jessica Patak, the freshman right-handed pitcher, will be in the circle for the Huskies in Game 1. She's 0-1, but has pitched well, has just a 2.16 earned run average. Mary Ellen Hall, the head coach of the Huskies, is 54-5 in her career against Texas Southern. Worley Baker, the head coach at TSU, is 5-26 in his seasons against the Huskies. That 54-5 record by Mary Ellen Hall is the total record. So let's have our invocation in the national anthem.
Dear Lord, we'd like to thank you for bringing us here today for the game of college softball. Thank you for these two teams who have come to represent their universities. Please allow both teams to play to the best of their abilities and keep them from injury. Watch over all of us and keep us safe today as we go our own ways, especially our visitors as they make their way home. Most of all, thank you for sending your Son, Jesus, to be the Savior of our sins. We ask all of these things in your mighty name. Amen.
Softball coming up here from Husky Field, and it will be a interesting day weather-wise, and it has been all season so far for the Huskies. They had, looking back, they had a single game played in a drizzle last Friday, the 3-1 loss to Virginia. Then both games that were scheduled for last Saturday were canceled because of heavy rain over in Lake Charles. And then they played the final game, and it was drizzling a little bit on Sunday morning in Lake Charles. Not a heavy rain, but they played it anyhow. Here at Houston, right off Beach Nut and Fondren, 74 degrees. There is sunshine peeking through right now, but we're not sure how long that's going to last. The wind from the west-southwest at 8 miles an hour, which means that it'll be blowing pretty much corner to corner. The flags in center field standing straight out from their flagpoles. And humidity, 80%. We'll have some intermittent showers today, but nothing it should be Harvey-esque like we had last week in Lake Charles. Husky Field, a natural surface, 200 feet down the lines, 218 in center. And Jessica Patak in the circle completing her warm-up tosses. She'll have this defense behind her. Megan Hires at first, Demi Yanak at second base, Libby Brown at short, and Cassie James at third. Nicole Shedd, Kay Schrader, Sierra Humphrey left to right in the outfield, and Heidi Hawkes is the catcher. Taryn Vinson, the leadoff hitter for Texas Southern, steps in. Vinson, a sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada, went to Arborview High School, making first appearance of the season for the Tigers. And Patak's first pitch is a foul ball as Vinson had squared around to put down a drag bunt. Pitch was up and in, and I think that was more of a defensive situation to not get hit, and if she fouled it back. Another pop-up, and it's caught in foul territory by Cassie James. So there's one out. That'll bring up Emma Ortiz, the right fielder. Another left-handed hitter. And she squares around, but then pulls the ball back, tried to slap it, and fouled it back. Ortiz, a freshman from Frisco, that exploding area north of Dallas. There's another slap attempt, and it's back into the screen, so she's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Not quite a swing and not quite a bunt. In her 2 outings last week, Patak, the freshman from White Oak, here's another pop-up, and this will be handled out by second base. Well, they called something else. I think they called an illegal contact, but we're going to say it was a pop-up to Libby Brown. So there are 2 outs. Now here's Madeline Merrick, the third baseman, from the right field, from the right-handed side. She takes a strike. Merrick, a sophomore from Victoria's West High School. Another foul ball back into the screen, and Patak has thrown nothing but strikes here in the top of the first inning. 7 to be exact. Well, I jinxed her. Pitch is low and inside, ball. 1-2 the count. And a swing and a miss. Didn't jinx her for long. A strikeout ends the inning. And the Tigers go down in order in the first. Half an inning in the books. Second, bottom of the first coming up.
Are you a graduate of Houston Baptist University? Did you know the value of your degree increases when you actively participate in the HBU Alumni Association? Your Alumni Association actively supports the growth, retention, and ranking of our school by our scholarship efforts. Husky Alumni Network volunteers actively work to recruit the best and brightest to HBU, and we promote and support programs intended to build a growing network of people committed to quality, higher Christian education through our alumni scholarship efforts. We also work to strengthen the bond between our university and the community, and we're your connection to over 18,000 fellow alumni, mostly in and around the Houston metro area. Log on to learn more about our mission and your privileges and benefits at hbu.edu/alumni, and find us via social media on Facebook at the Houston Baptist University Alumni Association page, and on Twitter and Instagram at HBU_alumni. But no matter how you do it, connect with the HBU Alumni Association, because a strong alumni base equals a strong HBU.
This is Junior Demi Yonak, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Let Houston Federal.
Bottom of the first here at Husky Field, and the Huskies will send up Sierra Humphrey, Libby Brown, and Cassie James to face Jasmine Fulmore. The right fielder Sierra Humphrey, a freshman from Tecumseh, Oklahoma. Left-hander all the way. Sierra got the start in Sunday's game out in right field against Tulsa, and was 0 for 1. Takes a strike here. First pitch from Jasmine Fulmore in the circle for Texas Southern. Strike two. In that game against Tulsa, she went 0 for 1, but scored one of the Husky runs. Walked twice, 0 for 1 in fact. She had 2 walks last weekend. That pitch is way outside. 1-2 now to Humphrey. Kind of an oddity in that game against Tulsa. She was facing her old high school teammate from Tecumseh, Oklahoma. Foul ball. Aaron Harris was the starting pitcher for Tulsa. They were, Sierra told me after the game, they were best friends growing up. And here she was in her first start as a Husky and facing her best friend. There's a swing and a miss on a pitch, maybe been down and away. Humphrey strikes out. There's one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Libby Brown, the senior from Bel Air, is the batter now. Libby was 1 for 6 in those 2 games last weekend, but she scored 1 run. The Huskies only scored 3 runs in those 2 games. 3-1 was the loss to Virginia, and 3-2 in walk-off fashion to Tulsa on Sunday. Libby scored 1 of the runs. This one bounces in. First pitch is down for ball 1. Here's a line drive. That's going to get into right field, right past the first baseman, Sierra Valdez. And the Huskies have a base runner, and the first hit of the game is Libby Brown. Strokes 1 through the right side. Here's Cassie James, the Huskies' third baseman, senior from Orange, transfer from Angelina College. Cassie was hitless in those 2 games last week. Did draw 2 walks. The Huskies drew 11 walks in those 2 games, so they were in both of them because of the walks. First pitch to Cassie is a strike. Last year, James hit .309 with 4 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 21 runs batted in. There's a foul ball, and she's down to the count 0-2. She had good success against Texas Southern a year ago, went 3 for 5 in the 2 wins over TSU last year. Had a couple of runs batted in. There's a foul over near the first base dugout occupied by TSU. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Fulmore has found the zone. 10 pitches, 8 strikes. There's a ground ball that is handled by the second baseman, but she throws it away. And the runners will end up at second and third. Jocelyn Ellis backhanded the ball and tried to rush it. The throw to Valdez was out of her reach. So James reaches on the error for Megan Hires coming up. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound. Worley Baker goes out to talk to Fulmore. The error was on the second baseman, Ellis. So with 1 out, Hires will be at the plate. Sophomore from Pearland. Hagan went 1 for 6 last week, but her 1 hit was an RBI double against Virginia. As a freshman last year, she hit .231, 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, knocked in 13 runs as a true freshman. Here's a swing and a miss on the first pitch. In the circle for Texas Southern, Jasmine Fulmore, senior from Federal Way, Washington to Mount Rainier High School. The pitch is high, and it's 1-1. Brown with a single at third. James reaching on an error is at second. Hires swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fulmore delivers and pitch up and in, hits her on the left arm. So the bases are now loaded. And here's Demi Yanak. Demi looking for her first hit of the year, but she has been a very patient hitter. She has been at the plate 6 times since she's drawn 4 walks. Takes a strike on the first pitch from Fulmore. Demi has a .667 percentage. Here's a throw home on a ground ball to third, and the fielder's choice gets Brown on the force play at home.
Designated player number 21, Brooke Bushman.
So the bases remain loaded, but Brown out at home. 2 outs, and Brooke Bushman comes up. Brooke, only Husky to get a hit in both games last weekend. She's hitting .333 on the season. And takes a pitch down and away for a ball. Huskies with a hit, an error, a hit batsman. Still have the bases loaded, but they're now 2 outs. Ooh, there was one that was 6 inches outside, called a strike. 1-1 the count to Bushman, junior from Ridge Point High School. Here's a foul ball, and count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bushman, a left-handed hitter. Brooke hit .260 last year. 4 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. She knocked in 11 runs. Here's a ground ball. That is to the second baseman. Flip to second, and that retires to side. The Huskies load the bases, but they leave them that way. We've played an inning. No score here in Houston. This is Husky softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Let Houston Federal Credit Union be there for all the stages of your life. Take advantage of our products and services to help you with all your financial milestones, such as purchasing a car, buying a home, and planning for retirement. We're the credit union that will always have your back and helps you save money along the way. Houston Federal Credit Union is the official credit union of HBU. Experience the credit union difference today. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, houstonfcu.org.
But what about you? When you text that really cute guy you met at a party on Friday, and he immediately texts you back, you celebrate with an ice-cold Pepsi. Sounds good, doesn't it?
But why stop there? The refreshing taste of Pepsi is the perfect way to celebrate anything. Like when you and your roommate order a pizza and the delivery guy throws an extra breadsticks no charge. That's worth a Pepsi celebration. Break out the Pepsi.
This is sophomore first baseman Megan Hires, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Daddy?
Turn-off button just doesn't work sometimes, it seems like. Sierra Valdez will be the leadoff hitter for the TSU Tigers here in the top of the second inning, first game of the doubleheader. Valdez, the first baseman, a senior from Houston, went to Paris Junior College. As Patak was perfect in the first inning, 3 up and 3 down, and delivers ball 1. Dribbles in to the right-handed hitter. Here's a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. She pulled the string on that one. The off-spin pitch, and Valdez was somewhat ahead of it. There's a ground ball that is snared by Libby Brown, and throw to first. Should be a base hit. Libby had to throw. She reached out for it and had to throw to first from her knees. And it'll be an infield leadoff single for Valdez. Now Jasmine Foster, the designated player, has a runner at first and nobody out. First pitch, breaking pitch, in for a strike. Foster, a sophomore from Connolly High School in Austin. Bunt attempt is popped up into the screen. 1-1 the count. 0-2 the count. Patak has been right in the zone. Worley Baker signals down to the third base coaching box, the veteran head coach of the Tigers. Swing and a miss, big out. Strikeout on a high hard one. Foster goes down. Here's Marissa Padron, the catcher. Junior from Connolly High School in Pflugerville. I guess it's the same high school. Here's a pop-up right in the circle, and Cassie James, ooh, almost popped out, makes the play. She got Jessica Patak out of the way. Now bring up Jocelyn Ellis, the second baseman. 2 outs, and leadoff runner still at first base. First pitch up and in for a ball. Ellis, a senior from Medford, Oregon, went to Yavapai College in Arizona. Breaking pitch, in for a strike. Beautiful pitch. 1-1. First of 2 games here at Husky Field today, and it's a busy day for the Huskies here on campus. Pitch is high. It's 2-1. Women's basketball and men's basketball both at Sharp today. The women play Sam Houston State at 2, and the men play Bearcats at 7. There's a swing and a miss. 2-2 the count now. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. 2-2 with 2 outs. And a strike 3 call. That's the third strikeout for Patak. And after that leadoff single, Patak gets the next 3 hitters in order. Inning and a half, still 0-0. This is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Daddy, where do babies come from?
Honey?
Mommy went to the store.
Oh, well, you see, there's a mommy and a daddy, right?
Right.
And see, when they call Geico, they could save a bunch of money on car insurance.
Oh, really? And that makes them happy?
Yes, that makes them very happy.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could have this talk, Sunshine.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
At Memorial Hermann, we're many parts working in harmony, performing more brain and spinal surgeries than anyone in Houston, conducting groundbreaking research at our Misher Neuroscience Institute, establishing the region's largest network of certified stroke centers. Some might say this makes for an accomplished performance, but to us, it's all in a day's work. Memorial Hermann. Breakthroughs every day.
This is senior outfielder Nicole Shedd, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Bottom of the second inning, the Huskies had the bases loaded with 1 out, couldn't punch a run across. Now Kay Schrader, senior center fielder, leading off. And Kay swings and misses at the first pitch. May have just barely tipped that one. We'll say it was a foul. Kay had a hit first game last weekend, but this time she pops out to the second baseman.
At bat for your Huskies, left fielder number 14.
Here's Nicole Shedd. Nicole, also another Husky, a senior from Converse Judson High School, calls Universal City over in San Antonio her home. There's a line drive up the middle, hits second base, and bounces into center field. Boy, she stroked that one right up the box. Second hit of the game for the Huskies. And I'll bring up Heidi Hawkes. Heidi's also looking for her first hit of the season. The sophomore from Martin went 0 for 7 last weekend. Hitting from the left side against Jasmine Fulmore. The pitch is low for a ball. To give you the defense for Texas Southern, Sierra Valdez at first, Jocelyn Ellis at second, Dominique Tello is the shortstop, and Madeline Merrick is the third baseman. There's a check swing. It's low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Tavani Tate, Taryn Vinson, Emma Ortiz left or right in the outfield, and Marissa Padron is the catcher. Here's a pop-up. Let's see if it'll be in play. Just barely out of the reach of Merrick. They're in foul territory. So it's a 2-1 count now to Hawkes. Roger Wilhite, third base coach for the Huskies. Natalie Duran over at first. Gives some message to Nicole Shedd. 1 out single at first base. Here's a ground ball. That is off the glove of Vincent, and her only play is going to be at first. A little bit of a bobble there by Valdez, but she recovered in time. Shedd goes to second on the hard ground ball back up the middle. Now the Huskies with another runner in scoring position, and Sierra Humphrey is the batter. Sierra struck out swinging her first time up. Back to the top of the order for the Huskies. There's a line drive and foul next to the on-deck hitter, Libby Brown. Huskies left the bases loaded in the bottom of the first, have a runner in scoring position now in the second. That pitch is low. 1-1 the count to Humphrey. Foul ball back into the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Humphrey. Next weekend, the Huskies will play at a tournament at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix. They'll have 3 games against the Antelopes and 2 against Niagara. That pitch is low. Now a 2-2 count to Humphrey. Play the Purple Eagles of Niagara Friday afternoon at 3:30, and then the host Antelopes that night. Here's a little nubber back to the pitcher. Her hard throw to first gets Humphrey, and that retires the side. Huskies get a hit, advance her to second, leave her there. We've played 2 innings, still 0-0 here in Houston. This is Husky softball, powered by Legacy Sports.
Building Houston to compete on the world stage is what we do at the IBEW. It's important to us that Houston knows why we do what we do, not just what we do. Sure, we're the best electricians. We train 10,000 hours to be the best. But we get up early so Houston is built to compete. To be the best, hire the best. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor just isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
If Raising Cane's one love was rock music, they would rock harder than any rock band ever. Their tours would sell out before they were announced. Their backstage parties would be the stuff of legend, attended by unicorns and the head of Louis XIV. Hotel rooms would trash themselves out of respect. But Raising Cane's one love isn't rock music. It's making the perfect chicken finger meal every single time. Raising Cane's one love.
This is the senior shortstop, Libby Brown, and this is the Husky softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Top of the 3rd inning, still 0-0, and Devani Tate, the left fielder, leads off for Texas Southern, swings through the first offering from Jessica Patak. Patak gave up a hit, 1-out hit in the last inning, but nothing came of that. There's a foul ball back into the screen, 0-2. Tate, a freshman from Rouse High School, and Leander over in the Austin area, hitting from the left side. Season opener for Texas Southern, so no stats to give you. Pitch away. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Tate. There's a foul back into the screen, so the count remains 1-2. Fairly solid crowd. 2 Houston teams playing here at Husky Field. Here's a fly ball to right. Humphrey doesn't have to move too far for the play. There's 1 out.
Batting for the Tigers, shortstop number 28, Dominique Tello.
Dominique Tello, the shortstop, comes up. Junior from Cy Falls High School. Another left-handed hitter. Pitch is high for a ball. That pitch down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Patak has been around the plate just the whole game. And now she's down to Tello, the number 9 hitter in the batting order. 3 balls and no strikes. Ball 4. Tello with a 1-out walk, and back to the top of the order is Vinson. Vinson tried to put a bunt down, fouled out to Cassie James over at third in foul territory. And we have a stoppage in play as our plate umpire John Scott goes out. And I think he's talking to Libby Brown there in the circle. I don't know what the situation is. There are some new rules this year about defensive meetings going into the circle. I'm not sure if that was a situation where plate umpire Scott wanted to make sure Libby understood that. First pitch into Vinson, down for a ball. Here's a little pop-up slapped foul down the right field line, left field line, 1-1. Zero, top of the third here in Houston. Huskies with 2 hits. Tigers with 1. They've committed the only error. Here's a ground ball. That is to Yannick, and she'll go to first for the second out of the inning. That will move Tello up to second base.
Batting for the Tigers, right fielder number 13, Emma Ortiz.
Now, Emma Ortiz comes up. She popped out to shortstop Libby Brown, her first time up. There's a swing and a miss. Another left-handed hitter, kind of a slap style. And now an offensive timeout. Worley Baker wants to talk to Ortiz. Freshman from Frisco. I think there's a question about whether when she swings that lead foot is outside the box. And assistant coach Jasmine Hutchinson pointed something out to Worley at that point. Jasmine in the first base box. Well, she moves up again but doesn't swing, and it's in there for a strike, and so she is down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Tello a walk, move up on a ground ball. She is at second, 2 outs. Here's a pop-up. And Hawkins goes back, and it's on the screen back over the stands behind home plate. And the ball stays up there. Still no balls and 2 strikes to Emma Ortiz, the right fielder. Talk with a towel in her back pocket. Another pop-up foul back into the screen. And that right back pocket, she dries her hands off with that. 0-2. This one's outside, 1-2. Here's a pop-up. That's in the shallow left field. Coming in, making almost overrunning the ball. Nicole Shedd has to reach back, but she makes the play for the third out of the inning. A walk, get her to second. But she dies there, and we've played 2.5 innings here in Houston. Still 0-0 between the Huskies and Texas Southern.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my groups.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
This is senior center fielder Kay Schrader, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Libby Brown leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Huskies. Libby with a single her first time up. Batting average now at .286 on the season. It's 2 for 7. Svensson delivers the pitch high. That is her 34th pitch. 24 have been strikes. She's given up 2 hits. One was that line drive to Brown past the first baseman Valdez in the first inning. Pitch down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Libby got as far as third, then was thrown out at home on a fielder's choice. Huskies left the bases loaded in the first. There's a foul ball. It's 2-1. Huskies have had scoring opportunities against Jasmine Fulmore, but haven't been able to knock anything across. There's a fly ball. That's hit well out into left field, and going back, looking up, and it's gone. Libby Brown with a home run. First out of the park by the Huskies this year. And HBU takes a 1-0 lead. That is her 4th career home run. And the Huskies lead. Cassie James comes up now. Cassie reached on an error, hit a ground ball to second that Jocelyn Ellis made a bad throw to first. Cassie got to third. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. And Tello gets it over to first. There's 1 out. Now Megan Hires comes up. Megan was hit by a pitch. Got as far as second there in the first inning.
First base, number 17, Megan Hires.
Husky first baseman pops up the first pitch, and it's to the second baseman, Ellis. And quickly 2 outs after that home run. Demianic hit it to a fielder's choice. That was a play in which Brown was forced out at home. She swings and misses. Good hard swing by Yannick. Demi still looking for her first hit of the year. That one bounces in. It's 1-1. A little bit of a drizzle out here now. I see some umbrellas that have popped up. There's a foul tip off the glove of Padron and back into the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yannick. Junior from Klein Collins High School. 1-2 pitch. Fouled. It's over into the parking lot. Everybody's concerned about their vehicles. Here's a pop-up. That is to right field. MRT's underneath it. And that's it. But HBU with a 1-0 lead on Brown's leadoff home run. And after 3, it's HBU 1 and Texas Southern nothing. This is Husky Softball powered by Legacy Sports.
Every day is a chance to live for now. Hold my Pepsi. Hold my Pepsi.
Hold my Pepsi.
All you have to do is rise to the challenge. Visit PepsiChallenge.com and taste life differently.
We're passionate, delivering expert neurological care for adults and children. We're dedicated, responding to neurotrauma and stroke with Lifelight in our Level 1 Trauma Center. We're persistent, restoring lives at our Tier Rehabilitation and Research Hospital. We are Memorial Hermann. And we're making neuroscience breakthroughs every day.
This is senior third baseman Cassie James, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Top of the fourth inning now. The Huskies with a 1-0 lead on Brown's home run. Madeline Merrick leading off for Texas Southern here in the top of the fourth. There's a pitch right through the middle. Taken for a strike. Merrick, a strikeout victim her first time up. Pops it up here, but it's going to be onto the building.
She was the SWAC freshman of the year last year. If I did game notes, that would have been one of those things.
There's a pitch away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alan Waldman there, SID consultant, works with softball for Texas Southern, says she was the SWAC freshman of the year last year. Fouled it back another pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Huskies with 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. Breaking pitch inside, but kind of buckled the knees of Merrick. 2 balls and 2 strikes. TSU no runs, a hit. They've made the game's only error. Huskies have left 4 on base. TSU 2, and there was a defensive swing. It looked like it was way inside, and she swung at it and yanked it toward the baseball field. Counts 2-2. Now the sun comes out. That's away, and it's a full count now to Merrick. One's inside, ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Patak. Had a 1-out walk in the third, left her at second. And now here's Sierra Valdez, the first baseman. She is the 4-hole hitter for Texas Southern. She led off the second inning with a single, the only hit for TSU in the game, but now she's up with a runner at first and nobody out. Swing, there's a foul ball according to our plate umpire John Scott, and a tip into the glove of Heidi Hawkes. 0-1. Foul tip back into the screen. She had to adjust on a slower pitch from Patak and just barely got a piece of it. Kind of a defensive swing, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch down, skips in, and Hawkes makes the catch, keeps that runner at first. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another foul ball back into the screen. Still 1-2. The sun goes back behind a cloud. The umbrellas, some of them still out, but the important one on the camera behind home plate is gone. Another foul ball. Just getting a piece of everything. 1-2. Merrick, the first baseman, with a leadoff walk here in the top of the fourth. Another foul ball. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat to Sierra Valdez. 1-2. Strike 3 called. Hit the inner half. Good pitch, and that's the first out.
Designated player number 2, Jasmine Foster.
4th strikeout for Patak, and here is Jasmine Foster, the DP. She was a strikeout victim her first time up. Swings and misses. First pitch. Merrick was adjusting well to some off-speed pitches from Patak, and Foster couldn't get the timing on that swing. Here's this foul ball, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Foster.
Yeah, why don't you get there as a freshman? Some of which might sell you on my silver growth. I shrunk.
So another 0-2 pitch. Ooh, just stays inside, probably a little bit high too. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Heard the admiring oohs and ahs from the Husky fans today. Here's a pop-up. Yannick's going to handle it. There are 2 outs.
Batting now, catcher number 10, Marissa Padron.
Marissa Padron is the batter. She popped out to Cassie James her first time up. Ball high. The wind shifting a little bit. Instead of blowing corner to corner, it's a little bit more out toward left center field now. That pitch is up and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Two 2-0. Pop up. Let's see. Hawkins makes the play over by the on-deck circle on the first base side. So the leadoff walk stays at first. We have played into the middle of the 4th inning. It's 1-0 HBU over Texas Southern. This is Husky softball powered by Legacy Sports.
Are you looking for a totally free checking account? Houston Federal Credit Union has it, and it's packed with free services like mobile banking with person-to-person transfers and mobile bill pay. And Houston Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of HBU athletics. So stop by their office at 6808 Bentliff Drive and experience a better way of banking. Visit HoustonFCU.org for more information. Houston Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of HBU.
Houston Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
Rolling up on a cheap price feels good, but cheap comes with risk. Heart surgeons, pilots, no one hires a cheap one of them. Fact is, certain things must be done right. Installing electricity in Houston schools and hospitals needs to be built with manpower that spent 10,000 hours training to do their job. So for heart surgeons to do their job, we must do ours. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
This is Junior Brooke Bushman, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
And Brooke is the leadoff hitter as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bushman, Schrader, and Shed scheduled up for HBU. Brooke 0 for 1 today. That's dropped her average down to 286. Ended the 1st inning with a sharp ground ball to second that resulted in a force out at second. Huskies left the bases loaded in that inning. Here's a ground ball foul down the first base side. 0-1. One of 3 left-handed hitters in the Husky starting lineup today. Pitch is down, 1-1. Bushman, Hawkes, and Humphrey. 1-1. That one's down and away. 2-1. Pitch hits the inner half. Bushman didn't think it was that close, but it was, according to our plate umpire, John Scott. 2-2 the count. Ground ball again to the second baseman. Ellis underhands it to Valdez. And there's one out here in the 4th.
At bat, center fielder number 12, Kay Schrader.
Kay Schrader popped out to second baseman. Her first time up. Kay's 1 for 4 now on the season, hitting .250. Fouls the first pitch back. 0-1. That one taken for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. First of 2 today. There's a pop-up foul. Looked like that may have been out of the zone, but Schrader protecting the plate with 2 strikes. Fulmore bounces this one in. Ball 1. 1-2. 1 out, nobody on. Huskies batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. The only run on Libby Brown's first home run of the year. Quick conversation in front of the circle with Pedron and Fulmore. And the sun comes out once again. Another foul ball back. Still 1-2. That one's away. 2-2. Good smattering fans in this game. Some Huskies and a lot of TSU fans here. That pitch is down and in. It's a 3-2 count now to Schrader. Kay has played against Texas Southern probably more than anybody. There's another foul ball. This is her 6th game in her career against Texas Southern. She first was injured and ended up getting a medical red shirt in 2014. Played 1 game against them there. Here's a ground ball foul down the third baseline. She's still looking for her first hit against Texas Southern. 0 for 12 in 5 games. Has scored a run on a walk that she drew as a true freshman back in 14. Here's a ground ball to the third baseman. Gobbled up by Merrick and over to first. And there are 2 outs in the inning. Nicole Shedd comes up now. Nicole singled her first time up. 1 for 5 in the early season. Boy, she slapped one right up the middle. There's ball 1. She got to second. That was in the 2nd inning, but she was stranded there. Here's a pop-up down the right field line, and Valdez over next to the fence beyond the first base dugout can't hold on, and that is a foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Shedd the batter with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th. Another one right up the middle. Another base hit. So it's a multi-hit game. First multi-hit game by a Husky this year. And Shed is on. Fourth hit of the game for the Huskies. And now here's Heidi Hawkes. Heidi grounded out back to the circle her first time up. She takes a high strike.
But although to be honest, I think there's a huge difference between even Wiley and like Jarvis Christian. Yeah.
1-1 the count. Ground ball, that is to second baseman. Short throw to first. And that's it. 2-out single by Shed. She stranded at first. We've played 4 complete innings. HBU with a 1-0 lead over Texas Southern. This is Husky softball powered by Legacy Sports.
Excuse me, is that your Diet Pepsi?
Sophia Vergara. Hi, yeah, this is my Diet Pepsi. I love Diet Pepsi.
Do you love every sip?
Nothing is better than drinking a refreshing Diet Pepsi and just reveling in its crisp, delicious taste.
Well, you know what they say. If you love something, let it go. And if it comes back, it was meant to be.
So I should set this Diet Pepsi free and wait for it to come back. Then it'll be more delicious than ever. Would you hold my Diet Pepsi for me?
I'd love to.
Thank you. What happens now?
Go, get out of here. It can't come back to you if you're standing next to it.
Thanks, Sophia. I'll wait for you, Diet Pepsi.
The only thing better than an ice-cold Diet Pepsi is a free ice-cold Diet Pepsi.
Love every sip at dietpepsi.com.
This is Alyssa De Los Santos, junior catcher, and this is Husky softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
And Alyssa has come into the game for the first time, for making her first appearance. She is now the Husky catcher. As Heidi Hawkes sits down. Top of the 5th inning. And the first pitch into second baseman Ellis is inside for ball 1. Through 4, Patak has given up 1 hit. There's a foul ball back into the screen. Walked 2, struck out 4. That was her 63rd pitch. 43 have been strikes. Pitches away. 2-1. Foul ball into the glove of De Los Santos. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a fly ball hit well out into right field over the head of Humphrey. Sierra gets it in, but it's an extra base hit for Ellis. A leadoff double.
Batting for the Tigers, left fielder number 4, Tavani Tate.
And the tying run out in scoring position. Tavani Tate, the left fielder, flew out to Humphrey her last time up, but looks like we're going to have is there a pinch runner? No, pinch hitter.
If you have the pitch screen up, you have to do it again.
Hitter number 11, Zariah Robbins.
So the pinch hitter is Robbins.
4-11 is the position.
Zariah Robbins is a sophomore from Ellison High School in Killeen, another left-handed hitter facing Patak. And she gets a bunt down. Patak gets it over to Yannick at first, but moves the runner to third on the sacrifice.
Batting shortstop number 28, Dominique Tello.
Now with the runner at third and one out, here's the shortstop, Dominique Tello. Tello walked her first time up. There was a one-out walk in the third inning. First pitch floats away. 1 ball and no strikes. Leadoff double, Ellis, sacrifice to third. There's one out here in the top of the fifth. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. It was the foul ball on pitch that was way outside. 1-2. Yannick and Brown playing about 5 or 6 feet closer in toward home than normally they would. That's the middle infield for the Huskies. That pitch is down and away, 2-2. Hires and James, the corner infielders, have been closer in now with 2-2 count. There's a foul ball. So with 2 strikes, they're not expecting a bunt attempt by Tello, that runner at third. There's a line drive to center field, base hit. Just stroked it out there, and Tigers have tied it up here in the top of the 5th inning with a single. So another pinch hitter coming up. We're back to the top of the order. We have Corin Davis, freshman from Oklahoma City.
Pinch hitting for the Tigers, number 14, Corin Davis.
So Pataki has given up the run here. Double, sacrifice, and a single. We're even at 1 each here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch into Davis is a strike. Freshman from Edmond Memorial High School, suburb of Oklahoma City. Pitch just low, and it's 1-1. Tello with the RBI single over at first. That pitch is low, and it's 2-1. Worley Baker, the head coach of the Tigers, way beyond third base. That pitch, a breaking pitch, in for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to pinch hitter Davis. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout there, second out of the inning. And now it looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter, Julio Bilbao, freshman from Nimitz High School up in the Aldine ISD. So the third pinch hitter. Another left-handed hitter. A freshman from Aldine Nimitz, and takes a strike. Freshman versus freshman. 2 outs. Runner at first. The Tigers have tied it here in the top of the 5th. Pitch hits the outer half. 0-2. Swing, foul tip into the glove of De Los Santos, and the strikeout. But TSU gets a run on a pair of hits, and through 4.5 innings, we are tied at 1. This is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
I'm here with the Kolache Factory Master Baker. And while many around here enjoy these old world treats for breakfast or lunch on the go, others still don't know what a kolache is. So we thought we'd get answers straight from the horse's mouth.
There are no horses here.
That's just an expression.
My expression remind you of horse?
It's a pleasure to see that you bring such authentic Eastern European tradition and craftsmanship to your baking.
We make dough from scratch daily and use only finest meats, cheeses, and fruits.
I see that, but what is a kolache?
One word.
Yes?
Delicious.
And?
Nutritious.
I was hoping for something more descriptive.
It's fresh.
Yes, but wouldn't you describe it as a lightly sweet roll baked with different ingredients inside? Like the popular sausage and cheese kolache.
Taste.
Oh, see? Oh, it's delicious. Folks, you have to experience a kolache for yourself. Just visit the Kolache Factory.
Delicious. A history of good taste.
Could I try another one?
Of course, of course. Come with me. I give you a very special kolache treat. Come here.
Thanks.
You're very skinny.
I know.
This is Heidi Hawkes, sophomore catcher, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Okay, we got some defensive changes here. Who is out and left? Okay, everybody came back in where they were supposed to. That's good. So Vincent is back in center field. Sierra Humphrey steps in, takes ball 1.
Eventually you'll love it, especially for something like that when you go all the way to the for the other stuff, it's not pretty good. That one's always nice.
Takes a strike, 1-1. Foul tip, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sierra looking for her first hit as a collegian. Pitch hits the outer half, strike 3 call. Humphrey strikes out.
Let's see who actually wins that.
At bat, shortstop, number 11.
This is the second strikeout for Fulmore, but Humphrey has been the victim both times. Here's Libby Brown. Libby got the Huskies off the schneid in the 3rd inning with her first home run of the year, the first home run by the Huskies, and takes strike 1. Pitch high for a ball.
No.
1 ball and 1 strike. Yahtzee, we got a Yahtzee on the scoreboard. Here's a line drive. That's going to be down the line in right field. And Brown chugs and has a 1-out double here in the 5th inning.
Now batting for your Huskies, 3rd baseman, number 5, Cassie James.
Here's Cassie James. Cassie grounded out her last time up, reached an error first time. Has a chance to get the Huskies back on top here. Here's a ground ball to second. Good play by Ellis. She backhands it, throws to first. That is the 2nd out, but Brown is now over at 3rd. Here's Megan Hires. Megan was hit by a pitch in the first and then popped out to second her second time up. Here's a line drive. That's hit well down the left field line, but it is just foul. Boy, that was way out of the ballpark, but about 5 feet foul down the line. Great stroke there by Hires. Megan only had 2 home runs as a freshman last year. Playing that first base, that corner infielder, you want to get some power from those positions. There's a ball low. It's 1-1. Well, she showed some power there, except outside the 90 degrees of a baseball field. That pitch is down and away, 2-1. Brown with a double. Moved up on the infield out. There are 2 outs in the inning. She's at third. Here's a fly ball. That's out to right field and handled by Ortiz out there, and that ends it. Good contact, gave it a ride, but it was in the ballpark. We have played 5 innings now, and the Huskies and Tigers are tied at 1. This is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
You're listening to Love Advice with Leanne. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Leanne. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Why, in your professional opinion, do you never take my calls off the air?
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few dates. Everything was great. I thought,
Well, you know, when you switch to Geico, you could save a lot of money on car insurance.
Okay, awesome.
You should call them.
I will.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers in Houston believe keeping America's families strong is vital. We believe Houston competes in a global economy, so we must construct buildings to last. We believe training for 10,000 hours counts for something. Most important, we believe in each other. We don't know what the competition believes, and most times, neither do you. To be the best, hire the best.
The time is now to hire IBW electricians.
This is sophomore Amber Lotz, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Top of the 6th inning for Texas Southern. Madeline Merrick, the third baseman, is the leadoff hitter. Fouls the first pitch back into the screen. Merrick with a walk and a strikeout today. There's a lot of protection on that left leg. She must foul a lot of balls off at the plate. Pitch down, 1-1. Almost looks like a boot. 1-1. Pop up, foul, left side, 1-2. One-two pitch. Just away, 2-2. Huskies have out-hit the Tigers 5-3. Tigers have made the only error in the game, but we're tied at 1. Here's a ground ball foul. He yanked it down the third base line. This will be the Huskies' last home game for these games today for a couple of weeks. Playing in that tournament at Grand Canyon, another foul ball foul. 2 games against Grand Canyon, 3 games against Grand Canyon, 2 against Niagara next weekend in Phoenix. No midweek game this week or next week. Here's a little looper that is into right field, and Sierra Humphrey comes on. Ball stays up long enough. So there is 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Now Sierra Valdez, the first baseman.
First baseman, number 32, Sierra Valdez.
Single leading off the second. Called out on strikes in the fourth. There's a strike. So the next home game for the Huskies after today will be 2 weeks, doubleheader against Prairie View. It's a 1 o'clock start on March 3rd. There's another pop-up. De Los Santos looks back. It's out of play. You tuned in early and heard Mary Ellen Hall in our pregame talk. Huskies only have 3 weeks of non-conference play before Southland Conference play starts on the 9th and 10th of March. Here's a little pop-up, and Olivia Brown takes it right in front of second base. So there are 2 outs in the inning.
Designated player number 2,
Jasmine Foster, the DP, is up now. Strikeout and a pop-out, her 2 trips today. Everybody in the Southland gets right into it. Here's a pop-up right to the circle, and Jessica Tock says, no, I want this one. Takes it, 3rd out of the inning. Middle of the 6th inning, it's 1-1 here between HBU and Texas Southern. Powered by Legacy Sports.
What does it mean to be Southland strong?
It's not just big wins.
It's success in the classroom and being engaged with service, family, passion, integrity,
Overcoming adversity.
Hard work and dedication.
Bettering people around you.
Striving for excellence.
leadership and competition
on our campuses
and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
Is it time to buy your first or next car? Let Houston Federal Credit Union help. Their super low rates and easy payment terms can save you a lot of money. Plus, their fast approval will put you behind the wheel of your dream car in no time. Stop by their office near campus at 6808 Bentliff Drive or visit them online at houstonfcu.org and let them help you get the very best deal on your new or pre-owned car or truck. Experience a better way of banking at Houston Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of HBU.
Houston Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
This is sophomore pitcher Shea Bibby, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sport Network.
Good pitcher for Texas Southern as we move into the bottom of the 6th inning. And that is Bailey Daniels, a freshman from Winona, Texas, went to Van High School. And your guess is as good as mine. Winona and Van. East Texas?
That's like between Longview and Dallas.
Okay. Tyler area, okay.
Second baseman, number 8, Demi Yannick.
So Demi Yannick will lead off first Husky to face the new pitcher. And the first pitch is down for a ball. Fulmore went 5 innings, ball 2. Gave up 5 hits. The only run, of course, was on Brown's home run. No walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. 77 pitches to the 54 batters she faced. And it's a 3-0 count. Now to Yannick. Yannick has drawn 4 walks so far in the first 3 games of the year. Takes a strike here. Demi, junior second baseman, has been pretty patient at the plate. Called a strike there, and it's a full count. I think Demi thought that was low. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball foul, so we remain with a full count. Yannick is 0 for 4 this year, but her on-pace percentage is an even .500 because she drew 4 walks last week. in those 2 games in Lake Charles. There's another foul ball.
Anyone from like along between Weiler to Seguin, I always get excited to see them. It's so much of my college trip between Houston.
I think the wind has dropped a little bit. There's ball 4. So Yannick's on base percentage goes up over 500 once again with her 5th walk in 9 plate appearances this year. Leadoff walk brings Brooke Bushman up. Brooke is grounded out twice to the second baseman. Once was a fielder's choice. The other time was just a straight 4-3. Puts a bunt down, though, and the sacrifice will be successful as play was made by Valdez back over to the second baseman Ellis covering first. So sacrifice bunt gets the go-ahead run at second base. Kay Schrader is up. Kay takes the strike. Fly out and a ground out in her 2 trips today. Now hitting an even 200. Swing and a miss, and she's down in the count 0-2. One out, runner at second. Huskies have not been very good with runners in scoring position today. There's a foul ball off of Padron. Left the bases loaded in the first inning. Had a runner at second in the second inning. Brown was at third in the 5th. Couldn't get her in. Bailey Daniels in her first college appearance. Swing and a miss. Schrader strikes out. Second out. Now Nicole Shedd. Shedd with 2 hits today, her average up to .333, and now Worley Baker is going to go out and talk to his freshman in the circle. First time that the Huskies have had a player with multiple hits in a game this year. Nicole singled up the middle twice against Fulmore. This is her 3rd at bat this year with a runner in scoring position. Hasn't got the runner in yet. First pitch is in for a strike. Yannick at second, representing the go-ahead run in a 1-1 game. Ground ball, this is to third. Merrick over to first, and that ends the inning. Huskies get a runner to scoring position once again, but can't get her home, and we have played 6 complete innings. It's 1-1 here at Husky Field. Husky softball powered by Legacy Sports.
Coming to you in Living Cola.
The joy of cola.
Pepsi Cola, from the wonderful folks who put the R in cola.
This is Junior Ashley Herrera, and this is Husky Softball on the Legacy Sport Network.
Catcher Marissa Padron leading off for the Tigers in the top of the 7th. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Tigers. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Huskies. First pitch up and away from Patak for ball 1. Takes a strike here. It's 1-1.
Batting, catcher number 10, Marissa Padron.
Pitch up and away. 2-1. Padron today with a couple of fly ball outs today, 0 for 2. There's a pop-up foul. Evens the count at 2-2. Mary Ellen Hall, the head coach of the Huskies, in her 27th season. 773 wins, 496 losses. Pitch just high. So the count is full now to Padron. And ball 4. Third walk issued by Patak. And now I think we're going to have a pinch runner at first. I think. And that is Ebony Wiltz, freshman from Dickinson. So
because the lineup screens are where they are the most useful.
a little bit of long discussion just for a pinch runner. Okay.
Pinch running for the Tigers, number 6, Ebony Williams.
Padron will probably go back in to catch at the bottom of the inning, but here is Merrick. Double, scored the tying run in the 5th. Takes a strike. She had squared around a bunt. Take back, this is Ellis. And a foul tip. Uh-oh, there's a throw into right field, but no advancement by Wilt. She had dove back in, and now a discussion out there as John Scott goes out and says something. Not sure what's going on out there. Some kind of obstruction call, but I didn't see what that was, and the runner's still at first base. 0-2, pitch is high. It's a little bit of a collision between Hires and Wiltz at first, but only because the ball was out. Here's a line drive to center, base hit. Ellis puts runners at first and second and nobody out. Wilt stops at second base. And let's see. Going to have another pinch hitter or no? This is Tate, who would pinch hit for her last time, so if she pinch hit again, she be out of the game. So runners at first and second and nobody out. She tries to put a bunt down, and it's popped up. And I said the batter was out of the box, so instead of a pop-up, that's just a 2 unassisted on the pop-up. So 1 out. Runners remain at first and second as John Scott, the plate umpire, called that immediately. Another bunt attempt, or a square around by Tello. Takes a strike, 1-1. Here's a pop-up again. This is to Cassie James. She does get credit for this pop-out. And there are 2 outs now. Now Taryn Vincent. Again, Vincent was pinch hit for her last time up and re-entered the game. And here's a stolen base attempt. The ball gets past Libby Brown, and the go-ahead run's going to score. So Wiltz stole third, and when the ball got past Brown, that should be an E2, I think. Here's a pop-up to Yannick for the third out, but Huskies have some work to do. They're down 2-1 going into the bottom of the 7th. This is Husky softball powered by Legacy Sports.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's so nimble and fluid, but sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our renowned Ironman Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
If Raising Cane's one love was rock music, they would rock harder than any rock band ever. Their tours would sell out before they were announced. Their backstage parties would be the stuff of legend, attended by unicorns and the head of Louis XIV. Unicorns and the head of Louis XIV. Hotel rooms would trash themselves out of respect. But Raising Cane's one love isn't rock music. It's making the perfect chicken finger meal every single time. Raising Cane's one love.
This is freshman Elliot Estes, and this is Husky softball on the Legacy Sports Network.
Daddy,
we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Heidi Hawkes is going to come back in to pinch hit for De Los Santos. Heidi started the game as a catcher, takes a strike. So you can be a starter and you can be a pinch hitter. Ain't softball grand. Just check swing. She's down in the count 0-2. Swing and a miss. The ball got away from Padron, and the throw is not going to be made. So I think it'd probably be a pass ball. A swing and a miss, and the runner reaches. What do you call it? A wild pitch or a pass ball? Has to be one. Okay. I agree. Wild pitch. Back to the top of the order. Sierra Humphrey struck out twice against Fulmore, but this is the first time she's faced Bailey Daniels. Takes ball 1. Here's a ground ball. That's a base hit into right field. in quickly with the throwback in is Ortiz, but Sierra Humphrey gets her first hit of her HBU career.
Number 11, Libby Brown.
So Hawkins took a big turn at second, but scampered back. Now Libby Brown comes up. Libby has accounted for the Huskies' only run today with that third inning home run.
But you just put the ball right there. Since no one advanced, I don't think there's actually no lead.
Here's a pitch high. And it's 2-0. They did call an illegal pitch on the first pitch. So it's 2 balls and no strikes to Brown. That one's high, and it's 3-0. Huskies down 2-1, but threatening here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runners at first and second and nobody out. Here's a strike to Brown. She was taken all the way. Ground ball. This is to the shortstop. Tello doesn't have a play anywhere. Not hit very hard. Second hit of the game for Brown. Now Cassie James comes up with the bases loaded and nobody out. A little quick on the scoreboard that time, putting a hit up before the decision had been made. First pitch. What was that? That was a ball. 1-0. 2-0. Bases loaded now. And nobody out for James. TSU infield playing in, trying to cut something off at home. And here's a bunt. Here's a play at home. There is no play at home. And now we've got Brown hung up. And now here's a throw home. They get her at home. So the runners are at second. That's the first out of the inning. The Huskies have tied it. And oh my goodness, how do we call this? You call that a sacrifice or a bunt or a hit?
She got the base. I mean, there's no place. That's a hit.
That's a hit. And the run comes in, but the put out. Brown got caught off of second base and tried to get in a rundown long enough to get that runner from third to score.
No, 2-4-6-2. And then
the count now is no balls and 1 strike to Megan Hires. Runners at second and third. The game is tied at 2. Foul ball, 0-2 the count. So Brown got caught off of second, couldn't stay in the rundown long enough. The second runner out at home. There's a pitch down. 1-2. But Brown is now at third. And James is at second. There's strike 3 called, and that hurt. 2 outs now.
At bat, second baseman number 8, Demi Yannick.
Now a meeting at the mound, trying to figure out what's going on here. As Worley Baker says, okay, you got 1 out, we've got free softball. First pitch to Yannick is high for a ball. Two balls and no strikes now to Yannick. Demi swings and misses. Two and one the count. 2-2 here in the bottom of the seventh. Pitch called a strike. May have been a little bit outside, but Scott has shown a wide strike zone today. So quickly, Roger Wilhite has something to say to Demi with a 2-2 count and 2 outs. And what would be the winning run over at third base now? Huskies trying to be aggressive on the mound. May have run themselves out of a victory here, but they still have tied it. It's Yannick with a 2-2 count. Foul ball, fair, hit down the left field line, but well foul. Pitch is low, and it's a full count. First base is open. Brooke Bushman is the on-deck hitter if Yannick gets on. Here's a line drive that is over the head of the left fielder, and the Huskies win. RBI single for Yannick, and HBU has won the opener of this doubleheader 3-2. I'll be back to wrap it up coming up. Huskies win 3-2. This is Husky softball powered by the Legacy Sports Network.
Excuse me, is that your Diet Pepsi?
Sophia Vergara. Hi, yeah, this is my Diet Pepsi. I love Diet Pepsi.
Do you love every sip?
Nothing is better than drinking a refreshing Diet Pepsi and just reveling in its crisp, delicious taste.
Well, you know what they say. If you love something, let it go. And if it comes back, it was meant to be.
So I should set this Diet Pepsi free and wait for it to come back. Then it'll be more delicious than ever. Would you hold my Diet Pepsi for me?
I'd love to.
Thank you. What happens now?
Go, get out of here. It can't come back to you if you're standing next to it.
Thanks, Sophia. I'll wait for you, Diet Pepsi.
The only thing better than an ice-cold Diet Pepsi is a free ice-cold Diet Pepsi.
Love every sip at dietpepsi.com.
Are you looking for a totally free checking account? Houston Federal Credit Union has it, and it's packed with free services like mobile banking with person-to-person transfers and mobile bill pay. And Houston Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of HBU athletics. So stop by their office at 6808 Bentliff Drive and experience a better way of banking. Visit HoustonFCU.org for more information. Houston Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of HBU.
Houston Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
What does it mean to be Southland Strong?
It's not just big wins.
It's success in the classroom and being engaged with service, family, passion,
integrity,
overcoming adversity,
Hard work and dedication.
bettering people around you,
Striving for excellence.
leadership and competition,
on our campuses.
and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
Rolling up on a cheap price feels good, but cheap comes with risk. Heart surgeons, pilots, no one hires a cheap one of them. Fact is, certain things must be done right. Installing electricity in Houston schools and hospitals needs to be built with manpower that spent 10,000 hours training to do their job. So for heart surgeons to do their job, we must do ours. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
This is the HBU Husky Sports Network, powered by Legacy Sports.
Walk-off win for the Huskies. Game 1 of the doubleheader, 3-2. The Huskies rally for 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. Winning run coming on, a walk-off single by Demianic. Huskies win 3-2. Final totals today for Texas Southern: 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. They left 5 on. And HBU, 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and the Huskies left 7 on. Jessica Patak is the winning pitcher. What's she do in the game here? We'll check it out real quick here. 7 innings, complete game. Her second straight complete game. Lost in walk-off fashion to Tulsa last Sunday, but wins today. 7 innings, gave up just those 4 hits. 1 of the runs was earned, of the 2 runs. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and she threw 107 pitches for her first college win. Bailey Daniels, the losing pitcher in relief for Texas Southern. The only home run was Libby Brown's, first of the year, back in the 3rd inning. The Huskies win the first game of the doubleheader by a score of 3-2. So coming up, the second game of the doubleheader in about 20 minutes or so. And